Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Emmett McCord, and you're watching the From the Top show with Emmett McCord here in Atlanta, Georgia, on July the 11th. It's a great day to be alive, and I'm excited about what's going on. Even though I can remind you, if you're watching this 2 years from now, we're going through the coronavirus uh, vacation. It's changed the world. I don't know what's going to be going on 2 years from now, but if this is still on the internet, let me tell you, it's been a big change and it's still going on. But we're excited about life and, God has the final word. So that's what we're excited about, what he's doing in this season. And for those of us who trust God, we're not worried. Even if we get coronavirus, it's God's will and He'll work it out one way or the other. He said He would be with us always. So there's nothing to fear because we are more than conquerors. So I thank God for that. Thank God for our guest today, who is Elaine Armstrong, who's the Vice President of Marketing at Goodwill of North Georgia. Good friend, haven't seen in too many years. She's a great young lady, and she's been doing some powerful, wonderful, blessed work throughout America and definitely here in Georgia and in the Atlanta metropolitan area. But before we bring her on, I want to remind you that we have a comment section so that if you want to make comments or ask questions, you can do just that. You'll see it there right on the screen. We're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. Also, if you want to give us a call, we'll have that number scrolling around for you as well there on the screen. If you look down the screen, you'll see it there. That's the number to call if you want to ask a question to Ms. Armstrong, Elaine Armstrong, or myself. I will be happy to answer your question. Again, we're on Facebook and as well as YouTube. So let's begin. I want to bring Miss Elaine Armstrong on to the show right now. Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. It's good to see you. I
It's
know
good to
that,
see you.
yeah, I know you've been busy, 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 busy. So you are now, when I first met you, let's see, you were the marketing director for one of the branches for Goodwill uh,
Uh-huh.
out here in Stockbridge or Henry County or this area. You came on my show and we talked about all the great things that Goodwill is doing and how you were excited about it. And I look in one of the business publications this past month, and here you are getting an award for all the marketing things that you're doing. And now you're the vice president of marketing for Goodwill. God is good, isn't
Yeah, absolutely. God is good. Yeah, that's it's been a while. So I started at Goodwill in 2006, if you can believe it or not.
he?
So
Okay.
it's been quite a while. The last 14 years, and I started as public relations manager and had a couple promotions since then, and then ended up a couple years back. So I think this is going on my fourth year as vice president of marketing for Goodwill of North Georgia. So it's been great. Love the organization. Love what we've been able to do, and yes, from time to time get honors for the work that I've done over the years. So that's always good too.
Well, good, good. Well, I want to give a plug for your CEO, Keith Parker, who's over there and doing a great job. So that must be exciting working with someone as dynamic as he is.
Yeah, yeah, it was great. Keith had spent some time on our board before
Okay.
he joined us at Goodwill, so he wasn't a stranger to the organization, but definitely brings a lot of energy and leadership, insight, and if people know him from his days at MARTA, they know what type of leader he is, and so
Mhm.
that has been it's been a welcome change for us at Goodwill, and we are continuing to do big things. So it's
Good,
exciting.
good, good. Well, it seems like Goodwill is just popping up everywhere. I mean, it used to be, the liquor store. I mean, but now it's Goodwill. I mean, Goodwill is everywhere.
You know what? We are definitely trying. So it has been, like I said, I've been around for 14 years, and when
Yeah.
I started, we were opening our 19th or 20th store, and we just opened last month our 67th store. So
67th store.
yeah,
Wow.
so that tells you what kind of growth we've had over the past decade and a half. And we have 53 donation centers that are even not even attached to a store. So there's lots of places where you can donate. And then we have 13 career centers, which, a lot of people don't know about Goodwill's mission. And so, me being in marketing and having been in PR, that's really what my job is to tell people about what we do and ensure that they know that about our services. So we have 13 career centers that are open and free to the public for anybody to come in.
All
And,
right.
we were talking about, you mentioned when I came on your show some years ago, and I came, through Stockbridge, and we have a center in Stockbridge. It's co-located with our Stockbridge store, and it's an opportunity for anybody who is looking for work to come in, or they're looking for supplementary income. So maybe they're employed but they're underemployed, or maybe they don't have a job, or maybe they're looking for job training to get to that next job or to switch industries. So those career centers are free and open to the public. You can go in and go through a quick registration process, and our staff will be there to help you. Then we also have some specific training programs that are industry related that you can spend a couple of weeks with us or a couple months with us and go through the training program, leave with a certification that you could take to your next role and hopefully land a job. And we also help micro entrepreneurs as well. So those folks who have a business or are looking to expand a business, we have a program specifically for them too. So great opportunity for
Okay.
everybody who knows about, the 67 stores, or maybe you're a Goodwill donor or longtime shopper. Every time that you are supporting Goodwill in one of those two ways, you're also helping to put your neighbors back to work. So it's a great little ecosystem that we have at Goodwill.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like, well, we have so much to talk about,
Hmm.
and definitely want to talk about Goodwill, but let's talk about Elaine Armstrong for a minute. How
Sure.
did you get in this field? How did you evolve to the point where you are now?
Yeah, so I started as a journalist. So I went to school. My background is in journalism, have a journalism degree from the University of Georgia, and I started as a TV news reporter. So I
Okay.
worked in South Georgia for some years and cut my teeth on journalism there. Really enjoyed my opportunity to learn more about storytelling, because a lot of people think about, particularly in TV news, and they think about just telling the news of the day, but really it is about telling stories and telling stories about people. And that was really what I learned, and I honed those skills. Had great opportunity to meet lots of people, including lots of people who were doing what I do now, working in public relations or marketing and communications. And, just it became a natural progression for me in terms of my career. I've met a lot of people, and I was looking for a way to make it a little closer back to family that were here in the Atlanta metro area. And it afforded me the opportunity to look for a job that was in public relations. I had known about Goodwill, I knew about the stores. I didn't know a whole lot about the mission and the back end of that, but I did know about Goodwill. My dad has been in California. He's a big Goodwill fan and shopper, and so I knew about that. And I had and other family members and mentors who had worked in the nonprofit space who were telling me that about Goodwill's reputation in terms of supporting people and the mission, and encouraged me to go after that job. So that's what I did. That's how I got to where I am, and then really just stayed the course in terms of my career at Goodwill. It's
Mhm.
been, a good opportunity, and I love, one of my things to talk to youth about, or recently graduated college students or students who are getting ready to graduate, is to tell them about sort of what that might be a non-traditional path. A lot of people don't think about going into nonprofit work when they are graduating, and everybody's path is going to be different. So I just love sharing about mine and the experiences I've had at Goodwill, because I've been there around 14 years, so it's a long time to stay in at one organization. But I've grown up, I say, with the organization. And if it had not been for that, I definitely think that I would, otherwise be somewhere else. But it's been a great opportunity for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting the feedback. So, do you have any headphones or?
Yeah.
Let's do it that way.
Sorry. No worries. No worries. Let me see if I can grab those real quick.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'm going to try to do it this way and see if I can connect these really quickly. I hate that we were getting that feedback, or that you're getting the feedback there.
All right. Absolutely. While you're doing that, I was looking at the Goodwill webpage, and I have before I get into that, I have a kind of a relationship with Goodwill through my wife. She probably wouldn't want me to say this, but I know she's listening.
Don't get in trouble.
I know it. She'll probably, send me a comment real quick here. Let me see if I can open that up. But she likes all of the shopping at Goodwill. I mean, she's got her favorite Goodwill places, right? And so when we got married, and I've been married now, we're going on 5 years or maybe 6. I'm not sure. She'll probably get me about that too.
You're getting in all kinds of trouble today, Emmett. I don't know if I should warn you to stop while you're ahead.
I'm trying to get out of this. It's a vicious cycle here. So I told her, don't buy me anything from Goodwill, because I had that stigma of, Goodwill stuff. I just, growing up, it was just not what I wanted, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would look at her some days and I would say, that's a nice dress. That's a nice blouse. I like that pocketbook. And she'll say, yeah, I got it at Goodwill. I said, oh. And now I'm saying, next time you're at Goodwill, get me something, Goodwill has some nice things. Matter of fact, I'm excited because Goodwill has a site as well called shopgoodwill.com.
Yes, yeah.
And I just looked at that, and I mean, you all have some great products on there. I just bidded on one.
Oh, what'd you bid on?
I don't know if I want to tell you yet. The bid is over at about it's 7 something tonight.
Okay. So I am having all kinds of issues trying to hook up my my headphones to this laptop. So I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm not getting that feedback now, so maybe it was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, then
I'm not getting that feedback. All right.
But yeah, so we have e-commerce. We started our e-commerce business. There's your wife? Goodwill loves you too, Charlotte. We love you too.
And then she's saying, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we started in e-commerce about 1.5 years ago, and we're a membership. So Goodwill is a membership of about 150 some odd Goodwills that are across the nation, and we are one of 150. And so there are some Goodwills who have been posting online for a while, but we got into that business about 1.5 years ago and have great success for it. So what it does is it allows folks like you who aren't necessarily in the stores all the time to find things and to discover those treasures, whether they're online, and it opens it up to people who may not be able to get to our stores. Or, you mentioned, the pandemic that we're in and coronavirus, and there's so many people who have been sheltering in place, continue to shelter in place, but they still want to enjoy an opportunity to find those treasures. And so having our e-commerce business has allowed us to do that. So it's been great to
Yeah.
be able to do that. And like you said, you can bid on things. So you can, if you want or if you're interested, you can go onto our website. It's Goodwill NG for NorthGeorgia.org, and you can find out how you can shop online. And we have lots of things, books and vintage items. We've had sneakers on there and
Yeah.
vases and just some really cool things that you would find amongst the racks and shelves of our stores, but just in an online platform. So it's exciting.
Yeah, yeah, Goodwill is happening, and I can see why you're excited. I mean, from every direction, they've, just form themselves into the community to be a part of the community
Mm,
to even the training of people who need to be employed, businesses being finding resources. I mean,
yeah.
Goodwill has just met the challenge of the community seemingly every time in every situation.
Yeah. You know what? And that's one thing that I think we have done really, really well is be nimble.
Mm,
I tell people all the time that Goodwill has been around. So Goodwill was founded in 1906 in Boston by a Methodist minister.
wow,
So this is a time when immigrants and right before if you think about 1906, right? So that's like before the Great Depression
right?
and before all of these things in terms of historical significance for our country and our nation. But Goodwill has survived, for that long, and we've been, the mission has really not changed all that much. The way that we deliver the mission has changed a little bit. So Dr. Reverend Edgar Helms started Goodwill, like I said, 1906, and started as an opportunity to help those folks who were down on their luck, who were poor, who might have been immigrants who really needed to get themselves established in the country. And what they did is they went around with a cart and horse and collected things that people no longer needed, and they either kept those items for themselves or they mended them and made them available for sale. So that was kind of how Goodwill started. And even predating that, Dr. Helms, he started giving things away, but then he changed this business model where it was kind of the folks who needed those things went out and found a way to earn
Mhm,
and mend and maybe even resell those items. And so, hence, that's the hand up, not a handout. It
right?
was one of the early mottos that Goodwill had taken on. And that strategy is still a little consistent today, right? So we still do collect items and we sell them in our stores. We just
Mhm.
use the money to fund our job training programs and employment services, and we're able to make them free of charge for those folks who are coming to seek our services. So that is, again, it's different iteration.
Right.
We're a secular organization now, so we have roots that are connected to the church, but today we are embracing anybody who needs employment. And if you've been watching the news at all, or just have heard, or even talking to people in your community in sphere of influence, you know that it's tough.
Right.
We're in a pandemic, and there's so many businesses and organizations that have had to cut back, to lay folks off. Lots of them, facing closure, particularly small businesses and those businesses that really didn't have access to capital and to strong support systems in the beginning, are really finding themselves, really struggling during this time. So it's great that we have an organization like Goodwill that can step in, and that has, we've known how to do this. We've
Yeah.
been through the Great Depression, the Great Recession, and it's not without tough times for us too. But our mission is there, and it's all about employment. That's what we do, and in this day and age right now, it's definitely needed.
Well, I tell you, that's great. Since 1906, they've been
Yeah,
doing this. That was a
yeah.
great start. You know, I was reading that for out of every 275 employed people, Goodwill is involved in one. So
Hmm.
one out of 275 people, Goodwill is helped in
Yeah,
this country.
yeah, yeah, yep,
Yeah,
that's right.
that's huge.
It is huge, and the numbers are really great. In fact, we are supporting every single year. So, and we have a territory. So we cover 45 counties of the northern part of the state for Goodwill of North Georgia.
Mhm.
And, we have sister Goodwills in the state of Georgia. So there are four that are headquartered here, and then a couple of others that have a few counties that serve Georgia. But so we don't compete in the way of going against each other, but we do collaborate a lot. But just our Goodwill in the last year, we set a goal to help place 25,000 individuals into jobs last
Wow.
fiscal year, and our fiscal year ends on June 30th, and we were able to accomplish that and more. So it is, we definitely don't set low goals, but what it also says is that there's a need out there. There's a
Mhm.
need for these services and will continue to be a need for them. And so we just are making sure that we can do everything we can to fill that need and encourage, those folks who are donors and shoppers to continue to support us in that way, because that's what really fuels all of this. And if you're there and you're a treasure hunter like your wife Charlotte and you just love Goodwill, continue to do that, because every time you do that, you're really helping those folks who are in your community who need work. And
Yeah.
and not just the folks that are working at our Goodwill stores. They're talking about folks who are getting jobs at more than 5,000 employer partners that we have and work with every single year.
Oh my, that's fantastic. That's
Mhm.
fantastic. And I noticed that the disabled are served by Goodwill as well. How do you all see that as part of your mission?
Absolutely. Yeah. So like I said, our career centers and our services are open to anyone. And so we do, and we have for many, many years served individuals with disabilities. And we have specific programs that are tailored to those individuals to help them get back to work and to get them the supports that they need to be successful in their jobs. And then we also have one of our businesses, and it's probably the one that people know even less than our mission, is that we have contracts. So we
Mm.
have contracts with some large federal employers in this Metro Atlanta area, where our team members at Goodwill Industries in North Georgia are cleaning and maintaining those facilities.
Mm.
And these are folks with severe disabilities, but they are doing a fantabulous job of doing that. And we have held many of those contracts for 2 decades or longer. So that tells you about the commitment and the dedication of this team, but then also providing opportunities for more than 200 individuals who have severe disabilities. And these are some folks who are some of the most hardworking folks that you will ever find. And when you've been told no for so many reasons, whether you have a physical disability and you're using a wheelchair, or maybe you are low vision, or maybe you are have a learning disability, whatever the case may be. If you have had doors that have closed on you many times, that can affect you in so many ways.
Absolutely.
And not having a job and not being able to earn a paycheck, it could be devastating. So we're excited about the fact that we are able to hold those positions, particularly for those contracts with individuals with disabilities, but then also in our training programs and those folks who are just coming in. We do a lot of that. We hire some folks who have disabilities for sure on our workforce, but then we also have team members who know and who understand what it means to learn about the abilities that someone has and be able to apply that to a job that's going to work for them. No matter, and that when we do that, not only just with people who have disabilities, but think about your veteran population. So
Right.
some people who have spent so many years or built a career in the military service, and now they are no longer in military. And what does that mean to translate what you were doing in the military into the civilian world, and thinking about that, or just thinking about, like we said, there's so many employers right now and businesses right now that are having and finding themselves to contract a little bit, and they're experiencing layoffs. And if you've been in a job for 20, 30 years, even 15 years, and that is really what you know, and then you're finding yourself out of a job and having to switch industries, you may have to learn new skills. Times have changed, things have changed. And so we take the time, and that's one of the very, very good things about our team members, is that they understand how to learn about an individual's skills, abilities, and what they want to do, and can help them along the way to get there. And so that, I think, sets us apart. We don't just count everybody as a number. Everybody is an individual. So every one of those 25,000 and some odd people that we helped put to work last year are a story, and they're a person, and that's the way that we serve them, and that's how we approach our work.
That's awesome.
That's
That's awesome.
awesome. That's awesome.
I can see
I
the
can see the
story
story
telling
telling
in
in.
your explanation. It's wonderful.
Well, I'm hoping it's coming across. I'm hoping it's coming across.
Yeah, I've enjoying it. I've enjoying it. So I wanted to ask you about the mission portion of Goodwill for
Mhm.
small businesses. I know that you have some major partners to help employ,
Mhm.
but there are small businesses that are just starting out or need help. You mentioned that there's some resources at Goodwill for that. Can you
That's
give
right.
us a little bit more information on that?
Yeah, yeah. So our Good Biz program has been around since the early '90s. It's one of our longest running programs, and that program started many years ago as an opportunity to help women who were either underemployed, or had what all of us have sort of termed now a side hustle. They
Mhm.
were, maybe baking cookies on the side, or cakes, or sewing clothes, or doing embroidery, or maybe, we even have a storyteller who's actually been a part of it. Or maybe they were doing fitness. So
Mhm.
anyway, we started that program to support women to become entrepreneurs, so that they could, one, establish a business plan. Because a lot of times you'll find, is particularly in small businesses or micro businesses, that folks they just start a business. They didn't have a plan. They didn't think through their operations. Maybe they need some support on finances or budget, or even legal structure, and how to set up, their business. Should it be, an LLC, or should you incorporate? And so we started that program to support women, and then after a few years opened it up to both men and women. And like I
Mhm.
said, it's one of our longest running programs. The idea is that, folks come in and they may have a business, and they may have been running their business for some years, but they're looking to grow it, or they didn't, or they have a business concept or an idea that they're really not sure whether it's going to take off. And so what we'll do is we'll work with them to develop a business plan. And like all of the things I mentioned, we go through operations, we go through the marketing plan, go through the budgeting, the legal, and we use partners who are in the community to help with the curriculum. It's if you think of, sort of like a Shark Tank type
Mhm.
of idea, where they'll go through the program, and at the end they'll pitch their business idea to folks who are in the community. Who, I've been a volunteer, a few times, where I'll sit in and I'll give perspective from marketing and communications and how they're pitching their business. And then at the end of that program, we can connect those folks to access to capital. We stay connected to them. So one of my favorite stories is a lady. Her name is Daisy, and she came in and she was making chocolates. She was in the gift basket business, and then was doing chocolates as well. And so, we worked with her to develop her business plan, and she started. Daisy will dip anything in chocolate, and it'll be great. And trust me, it's great. So I met her early on in my Goodwill career. So I started in 2006, and she was already gone through the program, a graduate, and was on her way to success. And, over time, Daisy, she found herself saying, hey, maybe I should start a storefront, because she was running her business out of her home. She opened a storefront in Conyers and had celebrated her 5th year anniversary probably about 2 or 3 years ago. So she's probably in her 6th or 7th year there, and is doing fantastic. And she's taken some of her sweets and entered into contests, Taste of Georgia and Taste of Covington and Taste of Conyers, and does a fantastic job. But that's where, if you think about, she was doing something just to supplement her income from the start, and then started operating her business from her home, and then took the next step and said, storefront. And now she's still in business, 5, 6, 7 years later in her storefront. And, I've just been checking on her too in terms of, the pandemic and how she's doing, because, she's one of those businesses, a small business again, where it's been affected. And so she's been doing really well. But you can order, she's got ways you can order online, and she's pivoted her business, and she stays connected. So she's one of our success stories that's really great. And you think about all types of businesses that you can have. We've got a guy who does cheesecakes out of Athens. We've got a storyteller, like I said, that's here. We've got people who are in fitness. We even have people who are consultants who want to open a business, and they maybe have retired from a major corporation and say, I still have skills that I can lend to others to support them in their businesses, and maybe they go into consultants. We have authors. So anything you can think about, people who make purses and sell shoes, and any business you can think of, we've probably had an entrepreneur or two go through the program and be very successful. So it's a really good program. It's our Good Biz program, and definitely one to check out if you're an entrepreneur and are looking for that support.
So how would one go about checking it out?
Yeah.
And is there a cost?
Yeah. So definitely, our website is the greatest place to find out about Good Biz. It's goodwillng.org. So just an N and a G for North Georgia. So goodwillng.org. And that particular program is one that runs on a sliding scale. So in terms of the finances, but I encourage anybody, do not let that hold you back. Our goal at Goodwill of North Georgia is to serve as many people as we can and connect them to jobs. And so we will find a way. If you are dedicated, motivated, reliable, and you want the support, we will find a way to make it work.
All right, fantastic. Let's see, I'm trying to get that on the screen for our viewers.
Yeah.
And let's see, is that right? Goodwill
that is right.
NG? All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
My engineer is on vacation. So
okay. So you're double duty today, huh?
Yeah, I'm working double duty today. Yeah.
Well, you're doing a great job, right on the
spot. Well, good. I like that banner there. Goodwillng.org is where you would go, viewers, to get more information about Good Biz and also Goodwill Industries.
That's right.
And so that's great. Goodwill is just on the ball, I tell you. And they really blessed to have you as a part of the team. I know you're passionate about marketing and about communication, about bringing people together and bringing out the best in people. I just got that from you when you were on my show before. I know that you're doing some other things out in the community. Tell us a little bit about ABL and your work with the DeKalb County Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah. You know what? And that's one of the, it's a large reason why I have stayed at Goodwill for as long as I have, is that I've been in a great position. I work with great individuals, but a large part of my role is about storytelling and about community. And it has afforded me the opportunity to work with some other organizations who, at the end of the day, I feel like there's great mission alignment. So I serve on the board of the Atlanta Business League, ABL, and we just got through talking about entrepreneurs, right? And so ABL is one of the longest and one of those organizations that has been serving particularly small Black businesses in the Atlanta area for many, many years. And I am honored to serve on the board. I started earlier this year. So I'm a few months into my board service there. But what we've been doing is, throughout the pandemic, is supporting those businesses with online content and webinars to get them information about how to apply for the PPP loans and how to get connected to EIDL loans, and hearing from other CEOs and heads of organizations and companies to see how they are responding to the pandemic and to lend some advice to those. So we've had, um, uh, from the SBA, we've had folks come on and talk about what they're doing there. We've also had entrepreneurs. Ryan Wilson has been on one, and he co-founded the Gathering Spot. We've had Pinky Cole, who is the founder and the creator of Slutty Vegan, to be on and talk about how her businesses has flexed, and she's growing. You talk about growing through a pandemic, not only pivoting but still continuing to move forward. And it's been a great opportunity to pour into those businesses. So, I'm happy to serve on that board. And again, we talk about businesses that may not have access to the capital, or may have less opportunity to find banks who are going to back them. And so particularly for African American businesses, super important to keep them informed and get them the information so that they can make it out successfully on the other side of this thing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you're a metropolitan marketer too now. I mean, what about DeKalb County?
Yes. I try. I definitely try. But yeah, so when we talk about DeKalb County, I also, one of the great opportunities that I've had is to join the board of the chamber there. And I guess it's about 3.5 years since I joined the board of the chamber for DeKalb County. And, our office, so our headquarters office for Goodwill of North Georgia is in DeKalb County. We've got, we have 2 career centers in DeKalb County. We have, several stores and donation centers in DeKalb County. Some of our contract work is done in DeKalb County. So we do a lot of business in DeKalb County. But, recognizing that, again, there's also talking about our business community. When we have 25,000 individuals that we are hoping to place into jobs and help connect to jobs, we got to know the employers. We have to know the people who are going to hire them. So, I think of my role in terms of sitting on that board is having an opportunity to have an ear to the ground, a seat at the table when it comes to connecting business and industry. And in my role as on the board, I also chair the Education and Workforce Committee. So that's all about, getting not only our youth and connecting them to education opportunities, but also even our adult learners. And a lot of times there's so many synergies with what we do at Goodwill and the programming that we support that works very well with the chamber. So excited about what the chamber is being able to do and to grow businesses in DeKalb, but then also look at ways where we can partner with the business community. And that's what we've been doing a lot in terms of our work with the education partners that we have. We have a new superintendent in DeKalb County of schools. And then we also have, Georgia Piedmont Technical College that's there. And we have, other education partners. And so we're bringing all of them together to see, what exactly do business and industry need to provide for that next, incoming generation of workforce. So, it's incumbent upon employers today, if you want that workforce of tomorrow, partner with those education partners now, because that's what they're going to be teaching, and they'll be ready for you when they come out. So, it's a great opportunity to partner, and I'm excited to, just honored to be able to serve on those boards for sure.
Fantastic. That was the next question I was going to ask you, because I noticed that Goodwill has basically got the table covered. Got the seniors, you've got the veterans, you've got the disabled covered, the business, small businesses. We have a relationship with the major corporations and as partners, but the youth, those who are on the way, and not necessarily the pre-K or K to 12, but that middle group
Yes,
uh, that's on the way out into society and will affect tomorrow, our tomorrow.
that's right.
How are they being engaged? So, what is Goodwill's mission or plan for that segment of the population?
Yeah, yep. So we have run youth programs for quite a while.
Hmm.
Our youth employment services focuses primarily, like you said, on those youth that are a little bit older, so 16 to 24. Think of that age range, and we are supporting them through partnering with schools. So we have probably have about almost 2 dozen high school partners
Okay.
across our territory, across our 45 county territory, where we will partner with those schools and provide programming within the schools and help those students who are in our programs get internships while they're working, so they're
Oh,
learning while they're still in school. And then we also partner with the tech colleges, so I just mentioned Georgia Piedmont Technical College, where we are partnering with them as well. And if you come through one of our programs, so for instance we have programs that are designed to help people who want to go into manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, and we are partnering with Georgia Piedmont Tech on that. So some of it is our curriculum in terms of the work components and getting people prepared for work, and all of the soft skills that they need to learn. And then we partner with folks like GPTC, where they are teaching the hard skills, and it just makes for a great opportunity to partner. And then in some cases where folks are completing that program, they're leaving with a little bit of college credit. So these are folks
hmm.
who may not have ever seen themselves going to college at all. And they are coming through a Goodwill program. They're leaving with a credit or two of college credit so that they can say, wow, I have something. And then maybe even continuing that on. And we do have staff that are designed to help them navigate that. So if they want to continue on with that higher education, we will help them fill out a FAFSA, learn how to look for other methods of financial aid, just to support them throughout their process and going to college. And so it's a great opportunity to support. And then we also have been supporting with people who are and young folks who are justice involved. Because what you don't want to do is ever write anybody off, right? So that's one of the things that Goodwill has been doing since the inception, since the early 1900s, where
Hmm.
people were down on their luck. And it's an opportunity and an organization that really is all about second chances. And so for those youth who may have made some bad decisions, and found themselves connected with the legal system, we're also supporting them, and we'll be expanding some of that work very recently to work with partners like Department of Juvenile Justice and some others to make sure that we are supporting those youth and getting connected to work. So it is great. We have even most recently we partnered with Metro Atlanta Chamber, and we did
Okay.
a youth job fair, one of the larger ones that we had ever done in the past. It was virtual since we were is still in this pandemic, but we always are looking for ways not only to do sort of that really on the spot sort of connection in terms of job fairs, but then also looking at programming to ensure that they are leaving and even maybe helping those youth find credentials and get on their way to finding employment and hopefully a career.
Well, Elaine, I tell you, you are just doing a fantastic job, and I have to say that Goodwill found a jewel in you to be able to, find someone so passionate enough to make all these connections. Because I do understand what is involved in all of that, because I'm kind of that same kind of person.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of it gets kind of heady after a while, because you're really creating, uh, bringing to fruition something that came up here in your mind, and it takes working with people, and it takes working out the details as well, and being patient. And I know you've taken on a lot, and the community is blessed because of what you're doing. I know that you have a good partner out there in Michael Thurman in
Yes.
DeKalb County. And is Jabari Sumama still the man in charge out at the university at tech school?
So no, in fact, I guess it's been maybe 2 years or so.
Okay.
Dr. Tavares Holston is the
Okay.
new president at GPTC, and we have a great relationship with him. He also, we also have on the chamber board folks from GPTC to
Hmm.
partner with us a lot. And so he's doing a great job in taking, GPTC to the next level. So they're a great
Yeah.
partner of ours at Goodwill, but then also a great partner of ours for the chamber too, as well.
Good, good, good,
Yeah.
good. Well, listen, we are almost out of time, but this conversation has just really been great. We've gotten a lot of information to the public. I pray that those who have heard it live are been taking notes and going to get on the phone next week and call Goodwill Industries and call the Goodwill ng.org. Go to that site and look for the business Good Biz
Mm-hmm.
group and see how they can get some help there with their small businesses. And surely I'm going to get back with you on some things that I want to talk to you about relative to business and doing some things in the community. Just really been exciting to hear you, see you, and listen to what you're doing. I know the great things are still going to happen, hadn't even happened yet, but even greater things are going to happen.
Well,
So, you
thank
want
you.
to give us some last words to our viewers?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, one, thank you, Emmett, for the opportunity. This is,
absolutely.
yeah, for the last 14 years, it's been my job to talk about Goodwill in the community. So I feel like this is a great opportunity to continue to do that. But I love, chatting with you. You always have really good questions and are able to, get us an opportunity to highlight our mission and the work that we're doing. For those who are out there, I just tell you to stay encouraged. Goodwill is here for you. So if you are a shopper, like I said, 67 stores and online, so you can find us, goodwillng.org. It's a great place to find your nearest store. And if your nearest donation center, if you need to donate things, which so many people have, and we're super grateful for the opportunity. And they're thinking of us. There's so many places where you can donate those things, and we want to be one of those resources that's not only convenient, but that's going to do some good with your things that you're donating. So we thank you for that. And then for those folks who are found themselves in need of our services, encourage you to go to our website, goodwillng.org. We also have, and I'll be remiss if I didn't mention it, a virtual platform for our mission and career services. It's careerconnector.org. You can find it through our main website, or if you just want to type careerconnector.org, it takes what we are able to do in a lot of cases in that career center and puts it in a virtual platform. So, unfortunately, we are in a state where our numbers in terms of coronavirus are continuing to spike, and that means some people will continue to stay at home. And we want you to be as safe as possible, but also let you know that Goodwill is here for you. So whether you want to shop virtually or seek our services virtually, you can definitely do that. We are here for you. I just thank everybody for their, supporting Goodwill. I ask you to continue to support us. If you have any questions, if want to know more about things, website's the greatest place to go. But you can also ping me and reach out to me or reach out to anybody at Goodwill. Our phone number is 404-420-9900, and I'll repeat that one more time: 404-420-9900. And our team will make sure that you get the information that you need, get you to the right place. But I just thank you, and I hope everybody stay safe. It's the thing that it's tough for a lot of different reasons right now. We have a pandemic that's a health pandemic. We've got other pandemics that are going around, and it's really tough on lots of people right now, but stay encouraged. Um, whatever we can do at Goodwill, we will be here to support you. And thank you so much to your listeners and to Emmett for the show. It's been a pleasure.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. It's really been a pleasure. We've really had a great show, a lot of good information.
Mhm.
And one of the things I like about doing this on live streaming on Facebook and YouTube is always here
Yes.
forever. This show will be here.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this 2 months from now or next year, this information will still be valid. You'll still be able to get some great information. You'll still be able to get some help. Goodwill is there to help you. That's how they have survived because they've been beside you every step of the way. I know that they're a great organization, even though I'm not a fan of going to buy things from Goodwill. I'm going to win this bid I've got today on this camera.
On the camera. Okay, awesome. I'm
Camera.
gonna cross my fingers for you, Emmett.
I'm going to let you know. And
Yes.
I mean, it would be a great deal if I get it.
Yes.
Unbelievable. I didn't know that Goodwill had a shopgoodwill.org,
Mhm.
shopgoodwill.org site. I saw a 14, almost a carat um, ring up there for a
Yeah.
female.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, it was cheap.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
cheap. I said, well, let me just scroll on down and see what else they have. And I saw a camera for less than, anyway, $200. I
Yes.
said, oh my goodness, I would save thousands.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I got my fingers crossed, my legs crossed, and my arms crossed on this thing. All righty. Listen, we want to wish you have a great day and a great rest of the week.
You too.
And you got to get some great rest tomorrow and get ready for whatever's going to happen for this coming week. I know you're going to be busy. Tell everybody I know that you know I said hello,
I will do
and
it.
I'll be getting back in touch with you. All
Sounds
righty?
good. Well, thank
You
you
have a
so much,
great one.
Emmett. Okay.
Okay.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Okay. All righty. We're going to say goodbye to Miss Elaine Armstrong. She's been a great guest. She's Vice President of Marketing at the Goodwill of North Georgia. But more importantly, she's involved with helping our community in so many ways, helping small businesses, helping individuals who are handicapped find jobs with major corporations, even Goodwill Industries, where they have cleaning services available for major companies, and people are being hired through that company as well that's owned by Goodwill. So Goodwill is doing some great work. You see the number there, 404-420-9900. And that's the number you can call to get any information that you need about Goodwill. And also, here's the website, goodwillng.org, goodwillng.org. If you want to go on the website and find even more information. I think that this has just been a wonderful show. I pray that you've been blessed. I pray that you'll continue to watch us. We're here at From the Top Show with Emmett McCord every Saturday from normally 1 to 2, but we had another show today from 1 to 2. And so this show today was from 3 to 4. But at any rate, we have completed another show. We thank God for that. And we thank God for you. Be blessed. I'm going to show you something fantastic now. Just hold on one second. All righty. Take care.